Good morning students. Welcome back to computer science class. Today here I am going to explain you about the operating system. Okay, what is an operating system and what are the functions of operating system? Today we will discuss. Okay. As you all know, the operating system is an interface between user and the system. The best example for operating system is Android and iOS operating systems. What is the use of the operating systems? If there is no Android in your system, in your mobile, you cannot contact with your system. You cannot communicate with the system. Okay. So, what is the operating system is? Operating system provides an interface between. Operating system provides an interface between user and hardware of the system. Example. This is the operating system. Okay. Operating system, and we are the users. If the user want to communicate with the system, example, this is a system. Okay. And in the system, we have a hardware and also different hardware devices we have. Okay. So, user can communicate with the system, user can communicate with the different hardware devices using the operating system only. Okay, so operating system is an entry point to operate your system. Okay, so example, this is your system. You want to work in the system. So if there is an operating system inside your system, then only the user can communicate with the system. If there is no operating system, you cannot communicate with the system. Okay, so it is an entry point for your system communication. Example, you have a room. In the room, if you want to enter into the room, you need a entry. Okay, if there is no entry, how will you enter? It is not possible. Like a door is a entry point. So the door is nothing but an operating system. Okay, if there is an entry, then only you can enter into a room. No? Similarly, if there is an operating system, then only you can operate the system. Okay, otherwise it is not possible. Okay, it provides an interface between user and the hardware devices of your system. Without operating system, the user cannot communicate with the system and user cannot perform any operations inside the system. Okay, so operating system is an interface between user and hardware devices of the system. Clear? And this operating system is also called as the administrator of the system. Whatever internal work is there inside the system, the total work is done by the operating system only. Understood? So operating system only provides the way to communicate with the system. Okay, so without operating system, the user cannot communicate with the hardware devices of the system. So it is a mandatory to load operating system inside the system when you switch on the system. When you switch on the system, whatever initial functions are there, that functions are loaded inside the system. Okay, and that initial functions are nothing but these operating system functions. Clear? Even without operating system, you won't get the screen also. So this is the introduction of operating system. What is an operating system is? It is an interface between user and hardware devices of the system. Whatever functionalities are there in the system, all those functionalities are performed by the operating system only. Okay, and in the types of software also I have explained already. This operating system will come under the system software. Two types of softwares I have explained. One is the system software. The second one is the application software. The system software will come under this operating system will come under the system software. Okay, the software which is designed to operate the system is called as a system software. So operating system is the best example for the system software. Means it is a software, it is not designed for a specific purpose. It is designed to operate the system, to control the system, to manage the system. Okay, whatever functions are there in the inside the system, means whatever functions performed by the computer, all those functions internally done by the operating system only. Okay, so only one point is there. It is an interface between user and hardware devices. Without operating system, it is not possible to communicate with the system. Okay, now we'll discuss about the functions of the operating system. Functions of operating system. Please note down these points. The first one is resource manager. file management. Command interpretation. Fourth one is memory management. Memory management. Process management. Next, security. And we have a different type. It will perform all the input and output functions also. Input and output functions. You wrote down all these points. And you have number of functions. Okay. Time being, just I am explaining. 7. You note down these 7 functions. Functions of operating system. Resource manager. It is also called as a resource allocation. Resource allocation. Next, file management, command interpretation, memory management, process management, security, and input and output functions. You can get the networking also. The last one you can write as a networking. Okay. Now we'll discuss about each and every function of operating system now. The first one is a resource allocation. So before discussing about the resource allocation, first we will discuss about the resource. What is the resource? Example, you have a printer. This is one output device. We completed already output devices. Output device. If only one person is using a printer, there is no need of any operating system instruction for this. But if more than one person is using the same printer, example, you have an office. In the office, you have 4 systems you have. And these 4 systems are using the same printer. Okay. Same printer they are using. So, printer is only one using a networking. More than one system can use the same printer. Okay, so in that case, this device, the device which is shared among different systems, is called as a resource. Understood? One device is there, that device is shared by multiple systems, then that device will become a resource. It may be an input device, it may be output device, whatever device it may be. If it is used by more than one person at the same time, then that is called as a resource. Okay, now resource allocation. Example, in the office, only one printer is there and 4 systems are there. So 4 systems are using the same printer. Okay, in that case, printer is the resource. So when more than one system is using the same resource, then it is the job of the operating system to allocate that resource to multiple users based on the priority, and priority means importance, and based on the time of request. Okay, and example system, this is a system 1, this is a system 2, this is a system 3, this is a system 4. System 1 is using a printer right now. Next, after system 2 is also requesting for the same resource. Then what happened? After taking back the resource from the S1, system 1, the operating system will allocate this system to the this resource to the another system. So it is a job of the operating system. It is one of the job. It's a major job of the operating system to allocate resource to a different systems. Understood? So this is called as a resource allocation. Whenever any user or any system is requesting for any resource, it is a job of the operating system to allocate that resource to different users. Understood? And after allocating means it should maintain some sequence after the S1, S2, S3, S4, and that sequence may be based on the importance and based on the different priorities. Like whichever system requests first that resource will be allocated to that system. Okay, that is different. That is one priority. and importance. If the system, if any system is having a more priority, then that resource will be allocated to that system. Okay, so there are different techniques based on the resource will be allocated to a different users. Okay, so that is called as a resource allocation. So whenever any user is requesting for any resource, it is the job of the operating system to allocate that resource to a different users based on different priorities. Okay, that's the first job. Now, come to the file management. I think you all know the file. What is a file? File is a collection of different text, different words, different numbers, different symbols. Okay, so this is a file. I have entered some text. After entering some text, what I want to do is, I want to store this file on secondary storage device. But who will take that file and who will store that file on the hard disk? Operating system. Okay, so it is the job of the operating system. When the user is requesting to save the file, it should give the memory and it should store the file on the particular place. Okay, and whenever the user is requesting for accessing that file, the operating system should retrieve that file and it should give to the user. And whenever the user want to rename the file, whenever the user want to update the file, it is the job of the operating system to open that file and it should give to a user so that he can update and whatever operations he want to perform, he can perform all those operations. Okay, here when you come to a file management, only 3 or 4 functions you will get which are done by the operating system related to file. Example, this is a file. Okay, and file related operations, what operations you will perform? Save will perform, save as will perform, save as no need to write, save, copy, rename and update, close, delete. So this 6 operations, we have number of operations, but whenever the user performs this operation, example, the user wants to save the file, then the operating system should give memory to that file. And whenever the user wants to copy that file, it should open the file and it should give the permission to copy the file. So whenever the user perform any one of these operations, the operating system should open the file and that should be given to a user. Okay, so whenever the user want to save the file, it should give the space. Whenever the user want to delete the file, it will delete the file and whatever memory is given to that file, that will be taken back from that file. Okay, so that memory can be given to any other file. Clear? So these are the file related operations. Any operation is performed by the user, then operating system should give a permission to the user to perform all these operations, and whenever the user want memory to save the file, it is the job of the operating system to give the space to a file. Okay, you take a screenshot of this. Now we'll discuss about the next function of operating system, command interpretation. Actually, what is a command? Command, for example, whatever actions you want to perform inside the operating system, all those actions, command interpretation. So, example, if you want to communicate with the operating system, here is only, so if you want to communicate with the operating system, whatever actions you want to perform, all those actions should be given in the form of command. Okay, so operating system will understand only the command. Example, if you want to create a file, the command is copycon file name, like this. This is a command. Means command is nothing but it is instructions to the operating system. Operating system will understand only the command. So whatever actions you want to perform with the operating system, if you want to perform any action, then you should communicate with the operating system in the form of commands. Example, if you will give a save also internally, for that save, the copycon means internally the copycon command will be created to save that file. Example, say if you want to save a file, then actually what we'll use, save command we'll use in a Word, Excel, PowerPoint. But in case of operating system, what command we'll use? Copycon to create a, I'm discussing about the disk operating system. It is a one type of operating system. Copycon is a command which is used to create a file inside the operating system. So operating system will understand only the command. So if you want to communicate with the operating system, there is only one way, that is a command. So whatever commands the user will give, not only this operating system command, whatever command you will give, like save, copy, paste, all those commands. Okay, whatever commands the user will give, that will be executed by the operating system. That execution is called as an interpretation. So whatever commands is given by the user, all those commands are executed by the operating system only. So it is one of the job of the operating system is a command interpretation. Okay, whatever commands the user will give, that commands are executed by the operating system. Clear? Now we'll discuss about the next function. Memory management. In the last class only I have explained memory. What is a memory? Memory is a storage unit. So whatever you want to store inside the system, where you will store, memory will store. So this is a total memory. The total memory is divided into different blocks. Okay. And each one is called as a cell. Memory cell. And each cell is identified with the memory address. Each cell is identified with the memory address. So whenever any user is requesting for a memory, or whenever a user want to save any file, it is a job of the operating system to give a memory, the required memory to a user, so that he can save a file inside the memory. So that is called as a memory management. And whenever any user deletes any file, so it is the job of the operating system to collect the memory which are already given to that file and update that information in a memory blocks. Okay, means that memory block should be added into a free space, so that that block that operating system can allocate to any other process. Clear? So whenever any user is requesting for a memory, then the operating system should give the memory to that user. And whenever user deletes any file, then again it should collect back that memory from a user and save that information inside the memory. Clear? So this is the job of the memory. It is one of the job of the operating system is the memory management. The next one is the process management. Before going into the process management, first I will explain what is a process. Example, your program, one program is there, a.doc. It is a Word document. Okay, so I have created that program and I have saved that file. So whenever you want to execute that file, where it should be? In the CPU. When this program is executing, then the program is called as a process. Okay, program is one file you have created, saved. That is a passive entity. But when that program is entered into a CPU for the execution, then that program is called as a process. Okay, understand what is a process? When program in execution, you can say. Program in execution is called as a process. Program and process both are same. But program is a passive entity and a process is an active entity. Okay, when program enters into a CPU for the execution, then that is called as a process. Process management. Process management means here, whenever any program is waiting for execution, then it is the job of the operating system to give a processor. CPU is also called as a processor. Okay, so it is a job of the operating system should give a processor time to that process for execution. Understood? It is the job of the operating system to give processor time to a process when that program want to execute. And when the process completed its execution, it should release the process from the processor and it should load another process into a CPU. And whenever any process is waiting for any input and output, example, one program is executing. Meanwhile, it requires some input and output file, or input value and input value. Then what happened? Operating system will suspend this process and it will load another process till the first process takes input from a user. Okay. See, a.devos is there. It requires some input value and output value. So, while the user giving the input value and an output value, instead of sitting idle the CPU, we can allocate this CPU to another process. Okay, so this is called as a process management. Whenever any user is requesting for the processor, it is the job of the operating system to give the processor time to a process so that it can complete its execution. When the process completed its execution, it should release the process from that processes, and it should give the time of the CPU to another process, and it should make other process when example, if one process is executing, another process should not enter into that processor. Okay, means all the functions related to the processor and the process is done by the operating system only. So that is why the process management will also the function of the operating system. Clear? The next one is security. Security. How will you give a security to the system? Example, I want to use a system. So whenever you switch on the system, if you are giving a information, like if you are collecting any information like a username and password, and I have entered a proper username and password, then only I will get the permissions to access that system. If I won't give the proper information, I won't get the permissions to access that system. That is called as a security. Means it should allow only authorized users to access the system. Unauthorized user, it should prevent the unauthorized users from accessing the system. That is also job of the operating system. And how it can give permissions, means how it is giving a security to the system. How it is giving whenever any user want to use the resources of the system. That resources may be a file, input and output, whatever resource it may be. First, it should authenticate the user, means whether the user is valid or not. How it will authenticate the user? Means it will prompt the user to enter the proper username and password. So whatever username and password the user has entered, that is compared with already saved username and password. If it is matching, it will give the permission to access the resources. Otherwise, it won't give the permissions to access that resource. Okay, authentication, authorization. That information means that two functions are performed by the operating system only. That is the security. It will come under the security. Okay. Next term, input and output management. Input and output. Input and output management. Input and output management. See, input means what already, whatever you are collecting from a user, that is an input. Whatever the system is collecting from a user is an input. Whatever the system is giving to a user is called as output. So whenever, example, one program is executing, I want to give a print, example. So what is my job? I want to give a print. So in order to print, what I need? Printer I need. So whenever I request for any input or any output device, then it is a job of the operating system to give that system, that input and output to the user so that he can complete its job. Understood? Input and output management. Whenever any program requires any input from the user and whenever a user requires any output, then it is a job of the operating system to allocate that resources to the user so that he can complete its process. Understood? That will come under input and output management. Now, the last one is a networking. Networking. Actually, what is networking? Networking is the interconnection between the systems. Whenever any system want to communicate with another system, it is the job of the operating system to provide the connection between a system. And whenever the system needs to communicate, it will provide us some different signals, different protocols to communicate with the system. See, if one system want to communicate with another system, then the connection should be established. That connection is established by the operating system. So that is why it is a job of it is also one of the function of the operating system. Like this, we have a number of functions. Main memory management. Okay, whatever actions you are getting from a system, all those actions performed by the operating system only. Okay, so this is about what is an operating system, and it is very, 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 very important question you can expect in the exam also. Okay, operating system is an interface between user and the hardware devices of the system, and it is also called as the administrator. Clear? Whatever functions are there in the operating system, all those functions are performed by the operating system only. Okay, whatever functions are there in the system, all those functions are performed by the operating system. Okay, like a resource management, file management, memory management, input and output management, security. Okay, all those functions are performed by the user. All those functions are performed by the operating system only. Whatever functions the user want, whatever the user is expecting from a system, all those requirements, whatever he need, memory, so everything is done by the operating system only. If there is no operating system, we cannot communicate with the system. It will provide an entry point to the user to enter into the system. Okay, if there is operating system, then only the user can perform some operations inside the system. Clear? So this operating system will come under the system software. Clear? So this is about operating system.